Well, hello everybody. It's Mike here. I just want to welcome you back to Mr. Cast Iron and Weekends with Mr. Cast Iron. Got my sidekick here, Mrs. Cast Iron. So good to see everyone here in the chat room. We've got several people already popped in. Pickles has popped in. Jamie Mack looks like. Moderator Stephen and Jacqueline down in Trinidad and Tobago. Tom's Food Factory's popped in. So good to see everybody. We've got a good show tonight. Been looking forward to this. This is I think this is going to be a very interesting interview, and I think you guys are going to be really happy with our guest tonight. Looks like Steve from Dutchie's Cooking's popped in from England, so good to have Steve with us. But I'll quit rambling on. We'll go ahead and pull her on here. Hey, Anna, how are you?
Hey, Mike. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, you didn't get to meet my wife. This is Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. I've seen you on the broadcast before, so it's good to meet you finally.
Yes.
Well, good deal. Well, it's good to have you with us. Do you mind introducing yourself to our guest here in the chat room?
No problem. Yeah. I'm Anna. I review vintage cookbooks on my channel, Cooking the Books, and I also cook a recipe from each book. So I've been a collector for a really long time, and this is a great way to kind of share this with everybody and freak out about vintage cookbooks. They're people.
Yeah, that's a very interesting niche you got going there. And we're going to get into that too. I mean, I'm really fascinated by it actually. And I don't even remember exactly the first time I seen your first video, and I don't even remember. Somebody may have told me, or it may have just popped up on my screen. I'm not sure. In the homepage there, I don't remember. But anyway, I was looking at that and I thought, Cooking the Books, and then I read your bio and everything, and I thought, well, this is interesting here. I'm going to check this out. So here's our friend Jim's Kitchen in here. So
hey,
he was Jim was actually, I've had you on my mind for a while, but when we interviewed Jim, I usually do this with most of our guests, or we've started doing this anyway. Once our interview is over, we usually ask our guests, do they have someone that they would recommend us maybe reaching out to try to interview? And Jim mentioned you, and I said, yes, I've had her on my mind. So, this is all his fault. So
it's all his fault. He's so much fun. I love his videos. They're so kooky, and that's just like right up my alley. So fun to have him here.
He does a great job. So looks like Matt with Teach a Man to Fish has popped in. We interviewed him a little while back too, and he's got an interesting channel for sure. But guys, in the chat room, we've got Anna with Cooking the Books tonight. If you've not yet been to her channel, be sure and check out her channel and check out her videos. Leave her a comment and a thumbs up, and tell her you've seen her on Mr. Cast Iron's channel. And if you're not yet subscribed to her channel, I know she'd certainly appreciate that. And folks, I'm going to tell you, she's a new young channel, and I'm very surprised that she only has 225 subscribers. We need to help her increase that because this is a great channel. So Rhubarb and Cod has popped in. Looks like Stephanie from Ginger Snap Kitchen's popped in as well. Cooking with this guy. Steven's popped in with us from Ireland. So we got a whole crew here. So, wow, let's get started.
Look up here.
Let's get started.
What did I miss?
Look what Jamie Mack says.
Let's see. Jamie said, I've got some old school cookbooks. They scare me.
Yeah. Oh, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I mean, some of the recipes can be a little questionable, but that's the fun part.
I have some really old ones that were my great-grandmother's. Yeah. They're real small and delicate.
Yeah, some of those little, I have a few, I haven't covered them, but I have a few from like the early 1900s that are just, very tiny little booklets that I think were promotional items.
Yeah. Wanted to get some of those out.
Yeah,
definitely. Cooking your cast iron with those vintage cookbooks.
Yes.
Well, I just got to ask you, what made you decide to start doing YouTube videos?
Well, okay. So my husband, he got a job in California. That's where we live now. But at the time we were living in Ohio. And when you're gonna have to move, you kind of think about like, what can I downsize? Like what do I want to keep in my life? And I was really thinking about my cookbook collection, and do I keep all of them? I don't really use them. Like they're fun, but like I'm not really doing anything with them. And I was just joking with him, and I said, hey, I should create a channel where I review these books. And he's like, no, you really should. And I just kind of let it go for a while. And then he bought me a camera and I was like, well, now you have to do that.
Great.
So
Good for him.
That's kind of how I got started. And I didn't really, I mean, most people don't really know what they're doing when they get started. I was very interested in also learning how to edit and becoming more comfortable on camera, because I'm not great with public speaking. Being on camera, like, it's just a good way to sort of get comfortable with yourself in a lot of other ways too. You know, I just spent how many months on Zoom meetings for work, and you know, you kind of you have to listen to yourself talk, and it's a little awkward. So I really wanted to get a little bit more comfortable on the camera.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit more. I forgot to ask you a while ago when we were talking back off screen. Can you see the comment section in your top right-hand corner?
I see private chat. Oh, wait, you know what? Let me switch it. There it is.
Okay, there's everybody in the chat room. So, yeah, I just had a comment here from Rhubarb and Cod, said Anna's channel is one of our favorites. So,
well, thank you.
And you got a subscriber again.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Looks like Matt. Yeah, Matt subscribed. I think you guys are really going to enjoy her channel. I know it's pretty fascinating if if you're into cooking, and which we all are. But I mean, as far as recipes, our friend Karen out there.
Karen actually lives kind of close to where I do now, so we're trying to work out a time where we can meet for lunch. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
can I fly out there and meet
up
with them?
I can go have lunch.
There you go. Come on, have a meetup.
Yeah, we love Karen. She's a trooper. We really enjoy having her with us all the time. Look like Craig from behind the garage has popped in. So let's see who else we got here, folks. You guys, if you have a question for Anna, be sure and pop it in here, and we'll try to get it up on the screen and, see if we can kind of get to know her just a little bit better. But, you mentioned your husband said you should do that. He was the instigator, I guess. So did he just lead you out into the river and drop you off there, or does he help you video or you run the camera or anything like that?
No, I mean, I do all the filming myself. He's been really supportive when it comes to like the technology part of it, because he's very into that stuff and I'm like very not into it. So he cares more about that stuff than I do. So it's like, there's a piece of equipment that I'm like, do I need this? I go to him for advice a lot of times. He actually did have a channel for a little while. He started a few of his own companies. So his channel was about like startup advice and everything. And then, he got this job that started to take up all of his time. So, we already had a few things kind of left from that. So I was very fortunate to have some equipment already.
Pickles is saying he just asked a question, and I must have scrolled. There it is, right there. I scrolled by that. Sorry, Charlie. How much does she find technology or trends affect the old recipes, refrigerators, Jell-O, etc.?
Yep. So I have run into some problems when it comes to sourcing ingredients. So especially with cookbooks that utilize branded products, prepackaged like convenience foods, right. You'll see this a lot, and especially like I'm finding Betty Crocker recipes. A lot of times they call for like a cake mix or maybe a frosting mix that's either not available or very, very difficult to find. As far as equipment, the only thing I've kind of run into is a lot of recipes, especially like freezer recipes, they want you to use a freezer tray, which is something that was like at one time, I think it's just sort of like a shallow metal tray, but that's what I've been using because I don't have a freezer tray. So other than that, it's mostly the sourcing of different types of like convenience ingredients that you kind of have to work around.
Cool. Well, I need to say something real quick. Tonight's show is brought to you by how to YouTubeWrite.com. You can go check that out and learn how to YouTube write if you're looking into doing something like that. Also, Uncle Steve Shake sponsors our show. And so we're going to be doing a giveaway a little bit later on with one of the 3-bottle competition rub packages. So anyway, if you're here, we'll do that a little bit later on in the show. And so I'll go ahead and give you a warning. Tonight's keyword is going to be hashtag books. Hashtag books, okay? Because we've got Anna with cooking the books. So hashtag books tonight's going to be our keyword for the giveaway, and that'll help enter you into our contest. So we'll do that a little bit later on.
You put a lot of thought into that, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. You know, I'm that kind of guy. You know, I mean, what can I say? But you know, I was telling Teresa, I just love your personality, and I love the humor on your videos and things like that. It's almost like you're talking to yourself sometimes. I mean, we do when we're looking at a camera. Isn't that so weird to just be looking at either an iPhone or a camera or whatever? Yeah. You're sitting there talking to it, and you're trying to think you're talking to the world, and you know, sometimes it gets kind of helpful. Crazy.
Sometimes it's helpful not to think that you're talking to the world.
Yes.
Because then sometimes you're like, oh no, like I have this many subscribers. So I don't know. I like to talk about cookbooks. So it's just kind of, I feel like it's a good way for me to have an outlet to talk to people who are also into that, because you talk to the same people, your family, your friends over and over again about these things. They're like, okay, we get it. Like, you like cookbooks.
Yeah, no doubt. Good to have Bobby Joe with us, Cooking with Bobby Joe. You know, you may have said it. I think you did. You said your husband bought you a camera. So do you use a camera and not your phone, or what are you used to record?
Yes, I have. So I have a Sony ZV-1. It's like a vlogging camera. So it came with like an attached sort of tripod that you can hold. I tried doing that for my first video and I hated it. Like, I don't know how vloggers do this, right? Because it's not steady. Like I don't like using it for that. So I just use that as a remote. But yeah, I use a regular camera.
Yeah. What is it? Do you know?
It's a Sony ZV-1.
Sony ZV or ZD?
Yep. V as in Victor.
ZV-1. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, what you know, another thing too that I've noticed is your jump cuts or your transitions or whatever. Now, how are you doing that on your editing, if you don't mind me asking, or what do you use to edit your videos?
I edit with iMovie because I kind of have an older desktop Mac that I use. So I'm very lucky because it has a very large screen. But yeah, I started out really not knowing anything about editing, and I'm having a lot of fun learning. I know I still have a long way to go, but just kind of picking things up from other videos and articles and things like that and sort of teaching myself how to do it has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Grumpus on Fire's popped in. Good to see you, Grumpus, tonight.
Hello.
There's a question.
I got another question here from Tom. How old is her oldest cookbook, and do some measurements that are not common these days? Do you use some measurements that are not common these days? 3 spoons of sugar, 1 stone of flour, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so I think my oldest cookbook is from 1891.
Wow.
I haven't covered anything quite that old yet. I'm not quite ready to jump into that. I think the oldest cookbook that I have covered is from the 1940s. The measurements, as far as the measurements go, I haven't noticed that too much of a difference in the books that I'm covering right now, but I do see it in a lot of like handwritten recipes and things like that. Because I also love to collect handwritten things, like just recipes in people's handwritings, newspaper clippings that get somehow stuck in those old books when I buy them. I love that. So more so I see the change in measurements and something like that than I do the books that I cover for the channel.
Yeah.
Where do you get your books?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I think I mentioned I've been collecting for a really long time. Like when I say a long time, I mean I started collecting when I was like 11, and I'm 40 now. So I have a healthy collection. And I've done a couple videos about this. It really depends on where you live. So sometimes you have good luck at thrift stores. I don't always have the best luck at those. I have a couple here. I've just moved to California, and I did find a couple that are pretty reliable sources of cookbooks. I have better luck at independent thrift stores, so maybe like a thrift store run by a hospital, not as much luck as something like, a Goodwill, something like that. Sometimes flea markets are a good source as well. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I like to find my cookbooks in the wild. So like when I'm out and about shopping, but you can also find some really great things on Etsy or eBay. I have purchased a couple of very specific books that I wanted for my collection from those sources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yard sales, I guess.
Yeah, I love yard sales. I do love yard sales.
Yeah, Teresa and I, we acted like a couple kids yesterday. We went and had breakfast, and we've been doing a lot of remodel work on our house, had some repairs done, and so it's been really hectic lately. So I apologize to anybody and everybody that I haven't watched your videos or commented. Or Anna, I'm so sorry to you because I just got you your information this morning. And I'm usually, 4 days to a week ahead of time. And I just, behind. Gosh, man.
No
but
problem.
Little Eric's popped in. So good to have little Eric. But no, we did, we went and had breakfast yesterday morning at our favorite place, and we got ready to leave, and Teresa said, "Let's go to flea market." I said, "All right, let's do that."
Oh, so, that sounds like the perfect weekend.
It's dangerous for me. Maybe I did. It wasn't you. Maybe I did. I don't know. One of them. Anyway, we ended up at 3 or 4 flea markets, and
that sounds so fun.
I bought several pieces of cast iron, and she likes to collect several pieces. I said several pieces of cast iron. So I'll be showing those off here in the near future, hopefully. But she can't talk much. She likes old LPs, and old albums, and
I just like old stuff. I just like old stuff. I don't know. I have all my old cookware that I use and my Pyrex. Yeah. That's another great thing about my channel is I get to show off my Pyrex collection. So I love that.
Yeah. Well, before I fail to mention here, Grumpy Old Gringo's popped in, little Eric's popped in. So good to have y'all with us tonight. And just to bring you up to speed on everything, we've got Anna tonight with Cooking the Books. If you've not yet been to her channel, be sure and go check her out. Leave her a comment and tell her you've seen her on Mrcastiron. Give her a thumbs up on her videos if you like what she's doing, and certainly hit the subscribe button. I know she'll appreciate that. And likewise, if you've not given us a thumbs up yet, we would appreciate you doing so. Uncle Steve's our sponsor tonight, and we're going to be doing a giveaway a little bit later on. So guys that's in and out from different times, if you if you have to leave or whatever, go ahead and put #books.
Does it have to be by itself?
It don't have to be. Okay. I think it'll pick it up. I think the tool will pick it up. Okay. But anyway, I was just thinking too, how do you determine which cookbook you want to start reviewing, or which recipes? I've noticed you read through one of the cookbooks and you look at several different recipes, but I know just that's on screen. I know you've already determined what you were going to do, but how do you come up with that?
Yeah. So, I mean, in the beginning, it was just, I want to review this book because I like it. So my first cookbook review was a cookbook called Date Bait, which is hilarious. Like, it's my favorite cookbook in my collection. So that was just because I liked it. But then I became a little bit more strategic about the type of content that I wanted to create. So I'm starting to go along more with like the holidays or the season or something like that. And I keep a notebook. I actually have it right in front of me right here. So I'll go through, I'll choose like a stack of books, and then I'll just do some bullet point notes on, if I see a funny recipe title that I want to point out or a really great illustration. So I just do a very general list. I try really hard not to go into too much detail when I'm doing that, because I want more of a natural reaction to like me reading through the book. And I can't tell you like how many bouts of like laughter and different things I've had to cut out, because some of these recipes get really, really wacky. But yeah, that's kind of how I plan it. I want to have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing going in, but I still want to have that like natural, reaction to everything too for the camera.
I think it flows pretty good. I love the way your cuts, I mean, with your, and you're not doing a voiceover. I mean, you're speaking.
Not very often. No, I do occasionally do a voiceover. That voiceover is actually like my least favorite thing to do. I don't know. I just have to start it over. And for me, just talking to the camera is just easier.
Now, do you just talk straight through one and come back and cut it, or do you do it in little like episodes? You'll film a little bit and record that, and then you'll stop or whatever and come back and then splice it and put it together?
So typically, I will record like the chatty bit at the beginning, like that's in one piece. I might stop it here and there. Like the time that I forgot to hit record, that was really cool. So I had to do that over. But then usually it's like I'll do that chatty bit, and then usually in the same day I will do the cooking as well. And I might do it like right after. I might take a little bit of a break for lunch or to take Dottie on a walk. But I typically do my videos all in one day, and I just divide them up into those two sections.
Yeah, well, don't feel bad. I recorded one the other day and forgot to turn my microphone
Yeah.
on. So,
Oh no.
yeah,
No.
so I had to get creative with that one. But anyway, it
Yeah.
happens. It happens to the best of us, I
It
guess.
does. Yep.
But, well, you know, I mean, I'm certainly really impressed with your channel, and I know everybody else will, especially the ones that have not been there yet, to see some of your recipes. Huh? To subscribe, yes. But you know, I know you certainly, I'm sure now that you've really dove into YouTube, it may have just been uh, you know, you may have just done it according to what your husband had suggested, but now that
Mhm.
you're in it, I mean,
Yeah,
you obviously enjoy it.
I do.
So
I really like it.
you're bound to have some kind of goals now for your channel.
Mhm.
What are you looking to try to achieve, or what direction are you looking to go in?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like most people want to be monetized. Most people want that 1,000 subscribers, that 4,000 hours of watch time. Really, for me, like my first kind of like milestone goal, it would be I want to hit 500 subscribers by 1 year. So I think my first video was posted March 14th. So by March 14th, 2022, I would love to be at 500. So that's
Yeah.
I kind of, you know, that the big goal of like getting the 1,000, getting the 4,000, like that's a little daunting to me. So I'm really trying to break it up into smaller pieces. So that's kind of my like short-term goal is to
Yeah.
hit 500 subscribers.
Well, Jamie
But I
Mack
really,
says, I'm sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I put it on the screen. Jamie Mack just
Yeah.
subbed, so I know you got at
Oh,
least
thank
three more
you. Thank you
tonight.
so much. Yeah, I mean, but ultimately, like more than getting like subscribers and whatnot, it's this community that I just kind of stumbled into. I just happened to be looking for content sort of similar to my own, and I found someone, and then I looked at their comments, and I found these other channels, and it just kind of grew from there. And
Yeah.
it's like I've just met so many great people through YouTube, and also, you know, I've joined some cookbook communities on Facebook. I don't know why I never thought of doing that before, but just to have, you know, people who enjoy this very
Yeah.
specific thing is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Little Eric said he's already subbed. Looks like
Oh,
Steven says he stubbed. So
thank you.
Grumpus just subbed. So you got 5 or 6
Oh,
already
thank you
tonight.
so
So,
much.
but
Little Eric said she's so
yeah, Eric
pretty.
says she's so pretty. He's like, you know, little Eric. Are you following little Eric?
I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, he's awesome. That's my little buddy right there. But you know, you mentioned something uh, earlier. Well, actually, it was a video I was watching, but it was another question that I typically ask, and it's about microphones. I was watching
Yeah.
one, and you were shaking up some Worcestershire sauce, and it got over. You said, "Oh, I think I might need to turn my mic off or something." But
Yeah.
are you what type of external mic are you using, or whatever?
Yeah. So for the first few, I just used my camera mic, and I was like, this is probably not going to work. So eventually I got the Rode Wireless Go. That was a
Yeah.
birthday present. So
Yeah.
I got the Rode Wireless Go for my birthday with the lavalier, and that's what I use most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of like learning how to use some of these things too. So apologies if my levels are not quite what they should
Yeah.
be, because I'm still kind of messing with it and figuring it out.
So, yeah, but you're using iMovie to edit your
Mhm.
video once you upload
Yep.
it. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I use the Rode Wireless Go as well, and I love it.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's so nice.
absolutely love that.
Yep.
But if you will take your transponder and turn the volume level down to the lowest point,
Mhm.
that way you're not overpowering when it uploads to your editor, and you can
Mhm.
always increase your volume in your editor to wherever you
Okay, I'll
want.
have to do that.
I
That's
learned
good
that.
advice.
I learned that the hard way, but
Okay, I will
yeah,
do that.
had one.
I'm building one this week, so we'll do
Yeah.
it for that.
Charlie says, what are the weirdest recipes you've come across, and any that surprised you?
Oh my gosh. So I made ham banana rolls, which they were terrible. They were really bad. And for some reason, like after I made that video, I noticed that recipe popped up in a lot of other cookbooks, even though I don't think it's particularly good. Apparently in the 40s and 50s, like people liked to eat that. As for stuff that surprised me, I have a few. I made peanut mallow dressing in one of my videos. So basically, it was peanut butter, marshmallow cream, and mayonnaise and lemon juice. And
Oh, wow.
it sounds terrible, right? It was not bad. Like it's not. I wouldn't say it's something I'm gonna make like all the time, but I was very surprised by how much I couldn't taste the mayo in it. So I think it just like added a little bit of a texture to it that was more desirable than just those things on their own. Let's see, what else have I made? I've noticed, you know, a lot of times the spice and like the seasonings in some of the older recipes is not like where I would like it to be. So sometimes it's just a matter of that kind of thing. But yeah, it's been really fun just kind of experimenting with all of these.
She needs some Uncle Steve's.
Yeah, she definitely does. Jamie Mack's asking, do you follow Yester Kitchen?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I love her channel.
Yeah.
She does something like just about the same as I do. She actually goes even more into the history of,
yeah.
you know, like the cookbook itself, or, you know, the chef or the dish, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to reach out to her and possibly get her on here sometime, but
got two more subs.
Got 2 more subs.
Oh, thank you.
Dutchie subbed, and somebody else mentioned they did
there
too.
You go. Pickles.
Anyway, there was 3 or 4 others. Craig says he subbed, and somebody else did too.
Oh, thank you.
I think you put them on there.
She says everybody should be
channel.
subbing. So yeah, cool. We got another question here, or actually,
it's some advice. From
this
Pickles.
is a little advice from
Mhm.
Charlie.
Pickles.
Throw in some pickles, and you got an Elvis sandwich. That's right.
I do love pickles, so
Yeah.
I would try it.
That's awesome. Well, you know, you're talking about the YouTube community earlier, and how open that has been. I mean, have you had a good experience with the YouTube cooking community, or do you get some negative feedback from time to time? Or
I've had an excellent experience, quite honestly. Like it's been amazing. I actually just got my first negative comment maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was pretty excited about it.
They say if you get your first negative, you're on a roll. You're making it.
Yes. Thank you for the engagement. I don't care what you think of me.
That's right. Yeah, as long as it's not too raunchy or, you know, too off color or whatever, I'll leave them, you know, because it is engagement.
Yeah, and it's like a stranger from the internet doesn't like what I look like or something. You know, it's like I don't care.
Yeah, no doubt.
Eric says you're so pretty.
Well, thank you, Eric. I'm a little old for you, but
you are very pretty.
Yeah. Steven says, has Anna got an air fryer? So
I don't. No. I have been back and forth on this air fryer. I don't have a ton of like counter space. I'm very selective about like what stays out on the counter, and I just, especially like moving, I've really had to sort of reconfigure how I store things and like what I have and where I keep them. So I have my eye on an air fryer. I just don't have one yet. So I'm really thinking about it though, because everybody has one and they seem to love them.
Yeah.
I have 2 now.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a joke, and that's why Steven put that in there in the chat room. So, but yeah, at one time we didn't have any, and
then suddenly there's 2.
And now we have 2. I ordered one for Teresa's birthday, and another friend of ours that's in here from time to time, Mac from Small Town Texas Barbecue. He felt sorry for Teresa, I guess, so he ordered one from Amazon and sent it to the house. And they showed up a day apart, so she got 2 air fryers within 2 days of her birthday. So it's kind of a running joke here on our channel.
Yeah, and they're not vintage enough.
Yeah, they're not.
No, they didn't have those air fryers back then.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Now, Grumpus has got a question for you also. Said, what made Anna decide to start a channel? And we touched that earlier. Earlier.
I mean, and I was really just kind of curious about the process, to be honest. I'm kind of a latecomer to YouTube in general as far as consuming content. Like I didn't start watching videos until I think 2019. And then suddenly I was like, wow, like people can really do this and kind of have a creative outlet of their own, and it's just like regular people, you know. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, we're all about as regular as you'll get in this chat room here, that's for sure.
She's the youngest, other than Eric, isn't she?
I don't know the age group in here. Yeah, you may be one of the younger ones in our group besides Eric.
I don't think so. I'm 40.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're she's so old.
I don't know.
We won't touch that. You don't look a day over 39. Trust me.
Oh, I'm like not that young, but I feel like, because I know some people are sort of like right around my age, because I've done some collabs with a few people and had those conversations.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's a great group. I mean, I know I can look through our chat room here, and Eric's the youngest. I know Grumpus.
He's like, yeah.
Grumpus is well, I ain't gonna say how old. He's older than I am. I'll be 58 in January. So
no.
Yeah, I'll be 58. Can you believe that?
Quit trying to get a compliment. Pickles is, I forgot. Pickles. Charlie's 26.
Charlie's about Charlie's just barely 50, I think. But anyway,
he's 26.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah. So, but and it is a lot of fun. We do have a lot of great feedback from the YouTube community. I mean, everybody is always so helpful, and
really
they're so generous with comments, and it's really great to engage. It's a great engagement community, actually, in the cooking niche anyway. Now, I don't know, and that that would include everybody: cast iron, backyard barbecues, bakers, cake makers, whatever. Just the whole cooking community in general has really been good to us, for sure. And everybody we interview pretty much says the same thing. But I always like to ask, if you've had any negative feedback or whatever, and things like that. But since you now have been doing this for a little while, I know it gets time consuming, but how much time do you actually spend a week on your YouTube channel, either making videos or trying to, rearrange your homepage? Or there's so many things that can be done to your channel.
Yeah. If I don't do it in like one big chunk, so it's kind of hard to say. I would say I probably spend between 6 and 8 hours per video. And it really depends on, at one time I was doing 2 videos a week. Then I kind of backed it down to 1. I'm creeping back up to 2 videos a week because I really like the holidays and I want to put out, quite a bit of content sort of related to that. So I would say for each video, I probably spend between 6 and 8 hours between the filming and the editing. Right. The research is kind of hard to say because I typically do that just as like for fun anyway. Like I would normally be looking through a cookbook. I almost don't count that as working on the channel.
Yeah, really. Eric's got to go. Said he's got a test tomorrow. So good luck tomorrow, little buddy. Talk to you later.
Dana's here.
Let's see. Mark T. Garden Gnome. Old Mark's popped in. Dana Smart's popped in. Friend of ours here in town. So good to have Dana with us. Let's see. Who have I missed here, folks? Tonight we have Anna from Cooking the Books. If you've not yet been into her channel, be sure and go check it out. We're going to be doing a drawing here in another 10 or 15 minutes. Be sure and put #books in the chat room here, and that'll enter you into the drawing of a Uncle Steve Shake competition package. And we'll do that here shortly. But, what is it? Oh, yeah. And he sent her some roses, didn't he?
He calls us all.
Yeah, Auntie Anna. So
Auntie
Anna. Yeah. Grumpus says, be sure and give a thumbs up. No doubt, appreciate that, Grumpus. But now, you was talking about camera earlier and camera confidence. That is a big thing. So, how terrified were you initially when you did your first video?
Yeah, the first one I did was actually not a cookbook video. I was pretty uncomfortable with it, especially because when I started out, I think I mentioned I had the vlogging sort of attachment to my camera, and just doing this didn't work very well for me, holding and steady and all of that. Yeah, I felt pretty silly with that first video, and really the only thing that's helped is just to keep going, to keep doing it. You get a little bit more at ease each time that you make a video and you post a video and all of that. So yeah, at first I was not comfortable with it.
Yeah. Miss Susie 1955 popped in, said first time here, so welcome. We're glad to have you with us tonight. We're going to be doing a giveaway of some shake on shakes if you're interested in doing that, Miss Susie.
Got her books up there.
She's already got it. #books. Well, look at that right there, man. Tell you what. Ain't nothing slow here. So, but yeah, so good deal. Well, good deal. what was one of the videos that you had the most fun creating?
Oh my gosh. I really loved making the chocolate buttermelon cake from the Betty Crocker recipe card library because that was my first collab, and I got to work with Jim from Jim's Kitchen, Maiko, Stephanie from Ginger Snap Kitchen, and Betty from Unboxing Betty. And that was like so much fun. Just all of us cooking from like the same sort. And that video does look pretty chaotic, and I I was freaking out a little bit over those egg whites, but it was a really fun video to make. And it actually, even though it didn't look like the recipe card, it did turn out really delicious. So that one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Didn't look like the recipe card.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah.
We've had a few that way.
Yeah. Josh, the Cooking Cop and Babes popped in, so good to have them. Looks
Hi.
like Samantha Lewis has popped in. Good to have her as well. But, on the other hand, now I got to ask you, what was one of the hardest videos you had to create?
The hardest video was the first video.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, for me, because it was just like I'm a person who's like I don't like it when I don't know what I'm doing, and I just felt silly, and I'm like, why am I even doing this? So honestly, that was the hardest to make. Some of the recipes have given me a little bit of trouble. I had these ketchup cinnamon rolls that I just could not get the dough to come together. So that one was kind of difficult, but really, I mean, I've just had so much fun with it. Kind of offsets the difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were talking about collabs, what do you think about those? I mean, can you give us a little insight on your side of that viewpoint?
I haven't done a ton. Yeah, I haven't done a ton. I've done a couple of like open collabs, and then I did the one with the recipe card library. It's a lot of fun to sort of like plan those out and coordinate them. And you really get to know the people that you're kind of like working closely with. And that's what I like. Just it kind of supports that whole community building aspect of YouTube. Right. But yeah, I would love to do more. So if anybody has some vintage cookbooks and they want to cook with me, like I would love it.
Yeah.
Are those all her cookbooks behind her there?
Yeah. Are those cookbooks? Awesome. Those are
I figured it
cookbooks.
was.
Most of my collection. I have a few stacks over on my desk of like books that I'm kind of looking to review. So yeah, that's most of them.
On the collaborations, excuse me, did you find that it helped increase your subscriber, or that your viewers may have went over to the other collab participants and helped them by subscribing to their channel?
I think so. The collabs that I've done have been with channels that are kind of similarly sized, and so it's like I would see a bit of it wasn't like, I'm not getting like thousands of subscribers, but I kind of don't think that's what it's about, because that's not really what you want. Like you want people who enjoy your content and want to engage with it. So yeah, it did help me increase my count for sure. Yeah.
Charlie's got a question for you too. Is there something that you say a lot in your videos that you didn't realize you did until you started editing?
So many things. Yeah, I noticed when I did my first video, I kept saying, give it a good stir. And I said, give it a good stir so many times that I started to like cut it out of videos. I say the word like. I'm kind of like of that generation who says like all the time in front of everything. And so I try to reduce that, speaking, but also, I mean, editing is magic. That's the best part, is like, if you mess up, you make a mistake, you don't like something, it doesn't have to be in there. You can edit it out.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Give it a good stir.
Yeah, no doubt. Leprechaun TV, Lep's popped in. I'm going to be on Lep's channel here December the 2nd. So if you guys want to see me on the hot seat, I'm going to join Lep come December the 2nd, coming up 2 Thursdays from now, I guess, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be the only second time that I've ever been interviewed, actually.
The tables have turned.
Yeah, I know. So I'm kind of nervous myself, if you can believe that. Let's see. Matt's got a collab going on right now. Well, maybe no. He's talking about a cookbook here, the New York cookbook from the 1880s. Cooking with nutmeg and sardines. What's with the cooking?
What a combination.
Yeah, really.
Oh man, and that could have just been a food trend of the time. That's kind of what I see like recurring through the decades in these books, is like there's like anchovy paste sort of like appeared a lot in a certain decade, you know. So it's all about like food trends.
Yeah, cool. Well, just for the new folks popping in here tonight, we've got Anna with us from Cooking the Books. We're going to be doing a giveaway here shortly. Hashtag books is the key word to put in the chat room to enter you into the drawing of a competition package for Uncle Steve's Shake. So we're going to do that. Thanks to Uncle Steve for sponsoring our channel and our show. But I got to ask you now, Anna, out of your whole library of videos, what is your favorite?
Oh my gosh, what is my favorite? The ghost cake, maybe. So I made that ghost cake with flaming eyes, which was kind of a disaster, but it was a recipe that I had wanted to make since I was a kid. Like, it came from a cookbook I had as a child. I'd never made it, and finally I made it, and it was challenging, even though it was from a children's cookbook, but it was a lot of fun. It turned out really well, so I really enjoyed that one.
Cool.
I bet she had an easy bake oven. Yeah. Did you have an easy bake oven?
I had something similar. It wasn't necessarily for food. It was more for, like, do you guys know, it was like a crafting oven. So you could like bake clay in it and stuff. Oh. It was basically an easy bake oven that they rebranded to use for crafts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing any shorts?
You know, I haven't, and I've thought about doing them, especially because I feel like sometimes my videos do run a little bit long, and I'm trying to be more aware of that. And I'm trying to come up with some ideas for shorts, because the way that my content is like structured, it's usually like 2 parts and there's a book review and like, so yeah, I've not done any, but I'm curious about them.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. We're going to finish up with YouTube questions here, I think, and then we'll move on to some other things. But what do you find that you have some struggles with the YouTube platform in general?
The platform in general, you know, it's overwhelming. I think it's overwhelming for beginners, because you film your video and you think you're done, and then you've got like all of these other things that you have to do. And I've kind of like gotten through that, and it's helpful to watch content about creating content to sort of like navigate your way through that. But yeah, I think it can be a little bit daunting and discouraging if you really don't know what you're doing and you're just starting out.
Yeah. So you basically taught yourself just watching other how-to videos of how to upload and what to click and what not to click.
Yeah. That's pretty much kind of how I did it, you know, keywords, descriptions, that kind of thing.
Well, I guess I fibbed. I got one more YouTube question, but now that you mentioned that, what are some of your bigger name YouTubers that may have helped you the most? Learning how to operate and navigate.
Yeah, as far as like content and YouTube itself, I would say I watch Catherine Manning. I really like her. I really like Annie Dubé she's from Canada. Those are probably the 2 that I've watched the most. I find their content like super relatable. You know, I've tried some other channels and things, and it's just like not as easy for me to consume for some reason. So those are probably the 2 that I've watched the most. As far as like Photoshop editing and stuff like that for thumbnails, Bring Your Own Laptop is a really good channel for that. I struggle with thumbnails and photo editing and stuff like that. So anything I've learned, I've pretty much learned from that channel.
I don't think I'm familiar with Bring Your Own Laptop. I'll have to look into that.
It's great. Like, he does entire courses about like Photoshop. So if that's something that you're into, definitely check it out.
Yeah. Is that what you use to make your thumbnails?
Yeah. My husband has a bit of a design background, so I'm very lucky that we have a Photoshop license that I can use, even if I'm not good at it.
Yeah. Cool. My buddy Mike Baker from my hometowns popped in, so good to have Mike with us. And we're going to go ahead and get ready and do this drawing. So I'm going to tell everybody once again for the last time, our keyword is #books. We got Anna with Cooking the Books tonight with us on our show. So our keyword is going to be #books to enter you into the drawing for a 3-bottle competition package of Uncle Steve's Shake. So we'll get ready and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see, what's Stephanie saying? When I was a kid, I had an oven that made pizzas, and it was shaped like a little Pizza Hut.
I love that so much. Oh, that sounds adorable.
Yeah.
Pickles says the Easy Bake Oven's the first air fryer. Put that there.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
There.
Yeah, Charlie probably had an Easy Bake Oven. Yeah, I bet he did.
He might have.
He may have.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I guess so.
That's why he makes so many videos.
I know he makes a lot, don't he? That's awesome. All right, well, we're going to get ready, and we're going to do a giveaway here. So let me see if I can pull all this stuff up. And
What is it?
let me go.
Books.
Yeah, let me share first of all what we've got here from Uncle Steve's Shake. Now, this is going to be the competition package, which is the pig shake, the cow shake, and the bird shake. And folks, I can just testify myself that I love all three of these. I love all of his. He's got about 10 or 11, maybe 12 different varieties now. But I think these three here with the pig shake, you can work with pork, cow, you can work with beef and deer, and bird, of course, being turkey and chicken or whatever, duck maybe even. But I'm just telling you, I love these three, and I love them all, but I think you'll be pleased with these. And if you are, you may want to go back and pick up a few more sometime. So let me, I need to do this here real quick. Bear with me. I need to share my screen here and see if we can get our tool up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get ready and do our drawing. We need hashtag. I wasn't ready, was I? Okay, all right, folks. I'm dragging my feet here a little bit, so you're gonna have to get your hashtag books in the chat room because we're fixing to click the button here. So if you're not in, if you snooze, you lose. Here we go. We've got 10 people.
More than that.
Got to be more than that.
Because they were putting it earlier. Did you have to have it all by itself?
Let me go back and look through here. See if
there were more than that.
I know. Well, there was two for
that
sure.
Were earlier.
That was Steve from
England. We got two more.
And
two more came up.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was asking. Does it just have to say hashtag books?
Hashtag books. I mean, no. I mean, it can have you can have any kind
of
comment.
There's 13.
There's 13 now. So we'll go ahead. We'll wait just a minute and let everybody get that in there. So, but and I'll go ahead and ask you another quick question. What is one of your favorite pieces of cooking equipment that you love to use the most?
Gosh, as far as it sounds so basic, but I need a good rubber spatula, or silicone spatula, like a heat resistant one, because I use them for everything. I have a whole collection of them, and I use every single one. So kitchen tools, I would say probably that one.
Yeah, cool, awesome. What piece of equipment that you would like to have that you don't have, maybe?
Should I say an air fryer?
Hey, yeah, there you go. Do you use cast iron?
Of course I use cast iron. I learned everything I know about cast iron from you.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Well, listen, let me tell you a little bit now. Dutchie, Steve, Dutchie Cooking here. I'm not sure if you're subscribed to his channel or not.
No, I'll
but
have to check it out.
Steve has kind of taken over a playlist type thing where cast iron cooks can enter just the hashtag Cast Iron Wednesday or or hashtag CIW for Cast Iron Wednesday, and it all goes into a playlist. And every month there is a particular item or whatever chosen for that month. And this upcoming month is going to be steaks. This month was one pan meal in a cast iron. So even if you're not a cast iron cooking channel, but you use cast iron, you're welcome to join this and participate. And there's a lot of great channels over there as well. Let's see. Josh says ThermalWorks makes an amazing rubber spatulas. So
I'll have to check that out.
All right. We've got 16 entries into our giveaway. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, here we go. Rock and roll. Who's going to be the winner tonight? Dutchie Cooking. Looky here. Hey, Steve from Dutchie Cooking. How about that? Talk about the devil, and there it is right there. So Steve, I know I got all your
Congratulations.
information. I'm sure I know I've got your email. I've got all your information. So I'll get this sent over, and we'll get that over to Uncle Steve. So congratulations to Dutchy Cooking tonight for being our winner. Awesome. That's great. I love it. Steve from Dutchy Cooking. You got it wrote down? Cool. All right. I got a question for you now about cooking. Now that we're off of YouTube for a little bit.
Oh gosh,
we're getting close to an hour. Are you able to stay with us for a little while, or you need to? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Nope, I'm fine.
I'll try not to keep you longer than 3 or 4 hours anyway.
All right.
Okay. No, just teasing. We try to stay between an hour and a half. So, share with us some kitchen hack.
Gosh, so this is it's not a cooking hack per se. It's more of a kitchen hack in general, like pertaining to cleaning. What am I saying? Barkeeper's friend. Like that is my secret weapon when it comes to, you know, cleaning cookware or just anything that you can use it on. Really, like when we moved into this house a couple months ago, it's got like an enamel sink, and I was like, what am I going to do with this? Because everything leaves marks on it.
Yeah.
Barkeeper's friend. You know, I just cleaned an all-clad aluminum pan with it. You know, like it's amazing. You have to be careful with it, of course. You want to wear gloves and stuff, but it's pretty amazing. It's like magic.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Did she say she had an enamel? That was an enamel sink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't want to drop your cast iron on it either.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Nope. Oh no!
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
We don't have that sink any longer.
Oh. Yeah, I'd never had one before, and I'm like, what is why? It's just covered in marks all the time. But oh man,
I made it through 2 kids, and then I met Mike, and it was over.
Oh me. Well, you know. But anyway, that's how it goes. All right. Now, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? What's your favorite?
I'm going to say dinner, mostly because you can have any of the other meals at dinner time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What's your favorite meal to cook?
My favorite meal to cook lately is Detroit style pizza because I can't find it here, and I found a really good recipe that everybody seems to like.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Now, what's your favorite meal when you go out to eat?
Usually something with pasta. Pasta is kind of my go-to. I could eat it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this is kind of weird, but I'm going to ask it. If you were on death row and you were only given one meal, what would it be? Oh man.
Probably my mom makes lasagna that's really good and that I really crave a lot. And it's a very basic recipe. It doesn't even have meat in it. It's like a cheese lasagna, but I love it so much. I ate it a lot growing up, so probably that. Yeah. 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 If you were going to a potluck, what would you take? What season is it? Is it summer? Is it fall? Just in general. Yeah. I mean, yeah. In general. So if it's a summer potluck, I'm probably going to take either a pasta salad or I make this like roasted sweet potato, corn, and black bean salad that people seem to like. If it's more of a cold weather potluck, I'm going to make potatoes au gratin or elote casserole. Cool. Now, when you're going to family for, say, like Thanksgiving coming up, what would you take? So normally, like my husband and I both love to cook, so we would be in charge of like the main event. So we would actually cook the turkey. Usually we would do the turkey, the mashed potatoes and gravy, like anything that kind of needed to be cooked on site. So. I just this one. Well, that and then the next one. A cake with a file hidden in it. Yeah, there you go. You just tickled me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I apologize for our guest in the chat room. You know, I mean, friends like this, you don't need any enemies. You know what I mean? So, well, that was kind of a weird question. Well, you know, I mean, think about it. I mean, how do you ask? You know, if you only were, you know. You need to get to what's your favorite candy bar. What is your favorite candy bar? Yeah. Either a Twix or a Kit Kat, probably. Ooh, really? Yeah. Both of those, yeah. Very cookie oriented. Yeah. All right. You mentioned Detroit style pizza, and I've got to ask you now. This is a serious question. It's causing a lot of controversy
So I mean, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to get serious
Embracing
here about
myself.
this. Yeah, you need to get ready for this. But is it okay to put pineapple on pizza?
Yep.
It is. Awesome.
See,
I love
didn't even
so
hesitate.
I love pineapple and cheese together, so I think that's why
Mm,
I really love pineapple on
oh,
pizza.
yeah.
So I think
Good.
it's fine.
Cool. All right. Is hot dog considered what? Is a hot dog considered a sandwich?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think so
is
too.
cereal considered soup?
Oh,
I wouldn't consider it soup, but some people might.
Yeah.
look
What
up there,
is it? What did I miss?
Stephanie. She made a cake with a pie hidden in it.
Yeah, she made a cake with a pie hidden in it. How about
There you
that? That's kind of almost
Can't
like
wait. Is that a video that's coming out? Because I can't wait. I gotta see
Yeah, we need to see that,
that's kind of like
especially if we have to go to jail.
it.
that's kind of like turducken. Have you ever heard
Yeah.
of turducken?
I haven't had it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird.
No doubt about it. Well, you was talking about cheese with your mom's pasta. Now, what's your favorite kind of cheese?
I think my favorite kind of cheese is smoked Gouda.
Yeah, I mean, Teresa
Yeah,
like that.
I love
too.
a smoked. I love smoked cheeses. I love smoked flavors in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. What did I miss here? Anything? Folks, don't forget now.
Uh-oh.
What did I do?
No, he's joking because of the pineapple.
Oh, yeah. Tom said I might have to
Oh
unsub.
no!
Oh, man. That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. Now, Pickle says cereal is technically a stew. So.
If you put enough cereal in the milk, probably.
Ginger, Stephanie Ginger Snap Kitchen says it's called pie caking.
Pie
So I love
caking.
that. It's kind of like turducken, but it's pie caking.
Yeah,
Would you
there you go.
would you like a little pie caking with your
With your
turducken?
turducken.
Sure, absolutely. Awesome.
They're not usually this silly, are they?
Oh man, I love it.
I
Tater
like
tots,
it. I'm
French
here
fries,
for
or
it.
onion rings?
I usually go tater tots if they're available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of sauce do you like? Ketchup, mustard, blue cheese, marinara
heck.
sauce, la-di-da-di-da?
I like all of those, but I mean, it really depends on what I'm dipping in the sauce. But I'm from Ohio, and I hear that Ohioans love their ranch dressing, so let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you were a kid, did you eat the crust on bread, or did you tear that off and just eat the middle?
Of course. We didn't waste food at my house. I would have gotten in trouble for that.
No waste. That's right. I've heard you say that about other things too on some of your videos that you don't like
Kind
to
of what I'm
waste.
used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to waste food.
So,
Although I will say I have had one or two recipes that I just could not stomach finishing. So may have wasted a couple of things, but not too many.
Yeah. I watched one that you wasn't too keen on. I could tell you didn't like it too much, but that's good right there. So what was one food that you enjoyed as a kid?
Oh my gosh. I loved pickles. That was probably like my favorite thing. I was stealing everybody's pickles from their sandwiches.
Yeah. Now, what food did you not like as a kid that you find yourself liking now as an adult?
Some strongly flavored things. Actually, black olives for some reason. I love olives now. I loved green olives as a kid, but for some reason, black olives, I was like, nope, not eating those. But now I love them.
Yeah. Bobby Joe says that just reminds her to get a little ranch dressing, for shopping.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah.
Tom's curious what part of Ohio you're from.
Yeah, so I grew up in Northwest Ohio, so sort of like near Toledo. But then for the last 7-8 years, my husband and I lived in the Cleveland area, and now we live in the Bay Area of California.
Yeah, cool. Miss Susie says 8 brothers and sisters. So if there was crust left, I ate it.
Big families, yeah.
Guaranteed.
My parents both came from big families, so that's kind of how things went.
Yeah. What do you like, pork steaks or beef steaks? Which one do you prefer?
Probably beef. Gotta go beef.
Yeah. What's your favorite cut?
So we do a lot when we do steak. We do a lot of ribeye. We're kind of a ribeye family because usually my household is 2 people, so usually my husband and I will split one. We'll get one ribeye and then split it up.
Yeah. Madwood Barbecue's popped in, so good to have you with us. Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, once again, if you got questions for Anna, be sure and pop them in the chat room. We'll try to get them up on the screen. But anyway, what would now this is going to be a good one for you with the type of cooking you do. But what is one weird food combination that you enjoy eating?
I really love pickles and cream cheese together. I don't know if everybody would consider that weird, but I love that. I crave that.
Yeah.
That is pretty
You
good.
like spicy food?
I do. I'm kind of a medium spicy person. I can't go like ghost pepper crazy or anything, but yeah, I do like a lot of like just like a little bit of spice for sure.
What's one of the spiciest things you've ever eaten?
You know what? This is gonna sound silly. So when we moved out here, my husband and I, we actually, and Dottie, our dog, we drove here. So we made a lot of stops along the way. And I got this chili dog in New Mexico. And I was like, oh, I love chili dogs. And the chili dogs in New Mexico are spicy. Like,
yeah.
So that was kind of that's probably, that particular chili dog was probably the spiciest thing in recent memory that I've eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hatch chilies come from Hatch, New Mexico, so they got some spicy. Steve's got to go. Dutchie, congratulations on winning Uncle Steve's competition package. We'll be in touch with you. I'll just holler at me anytime. It's 1:00 over there in England, so he's got to lay down for a little while.
Yeah,
so.
get to bed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So,
get your sleep.
Well, what is one food that you've never eaten that you would like to try?
Pie caking.
Sure, no
exactly.
doubt. Absolutely.
Pie caking. I've never had it.
Stephanie's got something started now.
Yes, she has.
You guys are going to have to do a cake collab now with pie caking.
I want to see this. Pie caking.
Pie caking.
We might can make that for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's
perfect.
That was great. I love that. So, what's one thing that no one knows about you or that would ever believe? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm that kind of guy.
I think it depends on like if you know me in my personal life versus YouTube life. Let's see. So I dressed as I went to my senior prom dressed as Marilyn Monroe. I made my dress.
Oh, cool.
I made the white dress. I wore a wig. So that was my senior prom outfit. Yeah.
That's funny.
We need a picture.
I was very into like costuming at the time. So
yeah.
That's neat.
Well, when you get your 500 subs and you have your community tab, be sure and post that in there.
I'll post some photos.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. That is very difficult. Probably teleportation, just because now I have so many people like spread out all over. And I have a lot of new like YouTube friends that I would love to meet in person that, we're just kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Well, the instigator for you being on our channel tonight was Jim's Kids Kitchen, and he provided us a question early on several months ago, and we like to use this.
We like it.
We love it. But
no.
If you could have dinner with one person, past or present, who would that be?
Oh my goodness. This is a really hard one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on like I feel like it changes from time to time. I probably would say Anthony Bourdain. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love his books. His peek into like the restaurant industry and everything.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have spent some time with him and just kind of pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, I was it really bothered me, to know that he taking his own life. But I watched him a lot.
Oh my gosh, the No Reservations. I loved his show.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh my gosh. It's usually food memories, probably like cooking with my mom. Like she always had me in the kitchen. Like I was a very nosy child. So anything, making Christmas cookies with her, decorating them, that kind of thing.
Well, that's usually one of my questions too. What inspired you to get started cooking, or who inspired you, or who taught you, either your mother or grandmother, father, or whatever?
Yeah. So my mom and my grandma were both they're both excellent cooks. Again, my mom was very encouraging. Like she always gave me jobs to do in the kitchen. So like very early on, I was doing stuff like that. And then I joined 4-H when I was 9 or 10. So that it just kind of grew from there. I got to experiment and try a lot of new foods and new recipes.
Yeah.
That's good.
What did you want to be when you was a child?
I wanted to be a family and consumer sciences teacher. So little kid was probably just a teacher, but like later on, you know, I really wanted to teach home economics.
Yeah.
By the time I made it to college, a lot of high schools were phasing that out though. So I don't know where it stands now, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's a very valuable skill set that kind of gets overlooked.
Yeah. Well, I know, you know, things change as we grow, but have you been able to achieve any of your childhood dreams?
Yeah, I mean, my general childhood dream was to be like have a happy life, have security, that kind of thing. I'm like very fortunate in that, you know, I didn't finish college. I didn't have a lot of money growing up, but now I have the things that like I wanted growing up. So I feel like I'm so lucky. Like I've had access to people and resources and all kinds of stuff that has like allowed me to get here. So in general, I would say yes, even though I'm not a teacher or anything. I guess I teach people in different ways.
Yeah, you are teaching. You are. I mean, you're an influencer. You're influencing people with your videos. You know, and it's powerful. You know, and I mean, YouTube. I mean, I was in a conversation with a lady this morning about cast iron, and just some of the things that she watched on mine inspired her to do something. She had several questions, and I was able to help her there. But yeah, we do help a lot. And I tell you what, you know, talking about YouTube earlier, I was trying to get away from some of the questions of it, but you know, a lot of inspiration for videos will come from your comments or your questions in one of your videos.
Yep.
So
agreed.
Chad M's popped in. Hello, all, he says. So good to have you, Chad. No doubt about it. Awesome. Well, you know, talking about childhood friends and childhood memories and childhood dreams and things like that. But how would your friends and family describe you?
A big goofball, probably.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm so lucky. Like I have very supportive friends and family. They don't always understand me or get what I'm doing, but they're like, "We're here for you anyway." So probably a big weird goofball.
Yeah.
We're here for you anyway. We don't understand you. Yeah. That's how I am with Mike. Yeah. I'm here for him anyway.
You see what I got to put up with?
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm just used and abused.
I tell you, weird goofball. You're a weird goofball. Yeah.
That's funny right there. You know, I ask you, what is something that no one would ever believe or something, you know, but I got to ask you also too, what is one of the craziest things you've ever done? I know.
Start a YouTube channel.
Yeah. That's a good one right there. That's good right there.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a good question right there.
Charlie got one. Says, what are some of the vintage Thanksgiving or holiday recipes?
Yay.
Good or bad?
Yeah, so I've actually published a few of those. If you want to put a little bit of a spin on your Thanksgiving, I just published one for sweet potato volcanoes. So that's kind of fun. It's basically, it's really just a different way of presenting them in sort of like mounds with a marshmallow on top so it melts down. I did one for a pumpkin soup. Don't do that one. That was the worst recipe I've made. I have one more Thanksgiving video coming out, hopefully Tuesday. But yeah, I did one for scalloped corn, that kind of thing. I tried to go for side dishes mostly. I love Thanksgiving food, and Thanksgiving side dishes are probably it's my favorite food holiday for sure.
Tom said Charlie's favorite childhood memory was when his family discovered fire. So.
Oh no!
Leave him alone.
Charlie catches it, but he asked for it. I mean,
he asked the best questions.
He asked for it though.
He was trying to get. He does. He comes up with good questions.
Well, I know you have a pet dog, Dottie.
Yeah,
and I realized why you named him. Is it he or she?
It's a girl. She's a girl.
And I see why you named her Dottie, because she's got dots all over her.
She's a cattle dog mix. So you know, she started out with that big dot on her back, and then as she's gotten older, she gets more and more. And she's 15 years old now, so she's been with us for a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
We're very lucky.
How about pet peeves? Do you have any pet peeves?
Oh gosh, pet peeves. Dull knives. People who use dull knives, because I'm like, oh, you're gonna cut yourself. Like, don't use a dull knife.
Yeah, no doubt. How about hobbies other than YouTube? Do you have any other hobbies?
Well, gosh, I kind of
Other
like,
than
yeah,
cookbook?
I mean, I took my hobbies and kind of like put them in my channel. I also enjoy, like, this is kind of weird. I enjoy like retail history and buildings like malls and stuff. So there's several channels about like malls and just, different businesses that, the story of them, how they had their rise and fall, that kind of thing. So just like retail history is kind of an interest of mine.
That's neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's got that in the comments.
Yeah, Stephen, our
He's so good.
moderator. Yeah, Stephen's so
Thank
awesome.
you.
We don't say thank you enough to
No,
him. We're
he's
so
great.
appreciative of him and everything. I'd like to get down to Trinidad and Tobago and meet him sometime. But he's got one of your videos here. You're talking about the sweet potato
Volcanoes. Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah. So, what else was I going to ask her? Talked about hobbies. We talked about music too. Are you using any kind of music in your videos?
I really only use one song. It's called Ratatouille's Kitchen. And I just cut it to use as like the music for my little Dottie breaks that I do. And then I use it to close out my videos. So I haven't like explored more with like background music in general. I've thought about it, but I haven't really found the right sound for that. Really, I haven't really found the right song.
Well, how about you? What kind of music are you into?
Oh gosh, I'm kind of all over the place. I love old band Blondie. That's Deborah Harry is one of my favorite people. I love, so there's a YouTube duo called Pomplamoose. It's a husband-wife duo. Actually, the husband is the person who founded Patreon. So if you have a Patreon, you can thank him. But they do a lot of really fun like cover songs, and it's just a lot of fun. So I love listening to their music too.
What was their name again?
It's Pomplamoose. Pomplamoose.
Pomplamoose.
Pomplamoose. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Pomplamoose, cool. For the people who don't know, Pomplamoose is French for grapefruit. So that's kind of where they got the name.
Wow, that's cool. Awesome.
Spelled differently in French, but yeah.
Have you ever been to a concert?
Been to quite a few concerts. Gosh, I haven't been to a concert in a while. I think the last concert I went to was in September of 2019 for the Avett Brothers. They came to Cleveland, so that was really fun.
What was one of your favorite concerts of all time?
Oh my gosh. So there's another band I listen to that people might be surprised about, but it's called Sleigh Bells, and it's pretty loud. But that was the best concert I've ever been to. It was in a small venue in Cleveland called Beachland Ballroom, my favorite venue. And it was something seeing them live. It was amazing. They were quite the performers.
Yeah. Are you a movie buff?
I like some old movies. I don't even know what movies are out in the theaters right now, but like older movies, I'm more into that kind of thing usually.
Yeah.
I just watched White Christmas last night.
Yeah. How about vacations? What's one of the best vacations or favorite vacation spots you've ever been to?
Yeah. So the one that my husband and I have been back to over and over that we like, if we ever were able to have a vacation home, this is where we'd have it. Saugatuck, Michigan. And I know people are like, Michigan.
Yeah.
But it's this great little like sort of town with cute small businesses, great little restaurants. It's right on the lake. Very relaxing place. If you ever get a chance to go, I would say I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Been there, I'm sure.
Been through there, yeah, no doubt about it. What's one of your favorite holidays and why?
I'm a winter holiday person, so I love Thanksgiving and Christmas. Probably are pretty close together for me because you've got all those like twinkly decorations and feelings, and it feels super nice. My husband's birthday is on Christmas Day as well. Wow. So, he's one of those folks. But yeah, I would say the winter holidays are my favorite.
Cool. I failed to ask to follow up on a vacation spot, but what's one place that you'd like to go that you've never been?
Oh, gosh, I've never been to the UK, and I would love to go over there for sure.
Yeah. Cool. You like to go camping or to the beach or the mountains, or which one do you prefer?
So my husband and I like to camp. We don't get to do it super often, but we like camping when we can do it. I'd say I kind of like the mountains myself. I'm not much of a like warm weather beach person. I'm more of a cold weather person.
Yeah.
Now I live in California, but
Yeah.
so that's different.
Yeah. Where have you been to as far as mountainous areas?
So we've spent quite a bit of time in Colorado. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the places we would move to if we had like a real choice on where we were going, for sure. Yeah.
Charlie's from Colorado. He says, "Do you have any international cookbooks?"
I do. I actually do have a couple of children's cookbooks from the UK. So you can tell just by the language that they use and like the measurements and what they call some of the cooking like implements and stuff. And then I have one from Russia as well. And I just found it at an antique store. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I haven't cooked from them yet.
Yeah. Well, everybody picks on me when I say this, but we're going to get ready and start winding down. I've got just a few more questions, but what would be one of the first things you would do if you won the lottery?
Oh my gosh. I would probably pay off like the student loans and like homes of all my friends and family first, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to Florida.
Yeah, Mike Baker.
Going to Florida.
Yeah, he says you got to pack up and go. So
oh, wow.
Take care, Mike. Be careful, buddy.
My son is there.
Yeah. Son and daughter-in-law's there right now.
With their whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at Disney World.
Oh, how fun.
Grumpy old gringo said if you're going to spend time in the mountains, Colorado's the best place to go.
Colorado. Yeah.
I like the Smoky Mountains too now.
I do too. Yeah, we've spent quite a bit of time in Tennessee. You know, we like going there too when we can.
I like the Ozark Mountains here where I'm at too. You know, matter of fact,
there you go.
You know, I've got a favorite ice cream. Do you have a favorite ice cream?
Oh man, very specifically a flavor called caramel fudge brownie, and you can only get it at Mitchell's Ice Cream in Cleveland. Mitchell's is my favorite. So if you ever go to Cleveland, got to check them out. It's a local place.
Specific about that.
I guarantee.
Very specific.
I'm specific about mine too. Do you happen to know what my favorite is?
Cookies and cream.
No. We gotta go, folks. She's done. No, I'm just teasing. I guarantee you some of them in the chat room here would probably know, but I do have a favorite and I love it. But
what is it?
Well, I
Tell
can't
her
tell
what
you.
it is.
Can't tell you that.
He gave you a hint when he
No,
said
it's Ozark Black Walnut.
Oh, I love black walnuts. My grandparents actually had a black walnut tree in their yard. So yummy.
Butter pecan's my second favorite.
I like butter pecan too. I mean, I just like ice cream. What am I saying?
brother.
Yeah, Stephanie's like, oh, brother.
Everybody knows that again.
This is like pie cake, and everybody knows like Ozark Black Walnuts. Even Pickles knows. Anyway, I can't get a break around here, so.
Just don't start another story or nothing. Okay.
We're gonna get ready and wind down. We've had a lot of fun here, but I'm gonna get a little serious with you for just a minute.
Okay.
And, but what are you most grateful for in life?
I gotta see my friends and family because again, I mentioned them earlier, and I've always been super fortunate to have support, even though like people may not understand what I'm doing or whatever, but they've got my back kind of. So gotta say that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know Stephen is so good about having all the things in here as far as social media, your links and everything to your channels and stuff. But what, from your standpoint, what would be the best way for people to follow you? Yeah.
So outside of my YouTube channel, probably my Instagram account. My handle is _cookingthebooks_. The person who has Cooking the Books, like the actual Cooking the Books without the underscores, hasn't posted since 2014. So if you're out there, please give me a call.
No doubt about it. All right. Well, last but not least, I always like to ask this, but what would you like to say to your subscribers and to everyone in the chat room before we call it a night?
Yeah, I appreciate everybody who comes to watch my videos. When I started out, I didn't know if anybody would want to watch them. I didn't know if there was anybody who likes cookbooks as much as I do. So I really, really appreciate everybody who takes the time and comes and watch my content and comments and everything. So every single one of you, thank you so much for coming and asking me questions this evening.
Yeah, that's
I got
awesome.
another question.
Okay, well, we got another
okay.
question.
Wait, real quick. Okay, is
Yeah.
there a cookbook that you are looking for that you would like to have that you've never found
Yeah.
that you'd like to find?
So lately, there's a cookbook, and I think it's called the Betty Crocker Hostess Cookbook. It's blue. It has sort of a spiral binding. I know several people who have it, but I have not been able to find a copy in the wild yet. So I may break down and actually buy that one off of eBay, but if I can find it in the wild, that's what I'd like to do.
Cool.
Okay.
That's awesome. That is awesome right there. Well, folks, we've had a great night here with Anna. We certainly appreciate her. She's been a good sport. Tonight's show has been brought to you by howtoyoutuberight.com and also Uncle Steve Shake for sponsoring us with some shake. Thanks to Dutchy Cooking there in England for winning tonight's package. And also we want to thank Stephen with Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline for being our moderator. And folks, if you've not yet been to Anna's channel, be sure, to go over and check out her channel, watch some of her videos, give her a thumbs up and leave her a comment. Tell her you've seen her on Mrcastiron's channel. And if you've not yet subscribed to her channel, be sure and do so if you like what she's doing. I know she'll certainly appreciate that. And so with that being said, from tonight, me and Mrs. Castiron tell you guys good night. Happy Thanksgiving with Anna as well. And hopefully we won't be on next weekend, but we'll be on the weekend after with Billy with Strong's Adventures. Billy and Rhonda, we got Billy and Rhonda lined up. So be a good show. So we appreciate you guys. So you guys have a great night and a happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks,
we'll
everybody.
see you. Right.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.